Stay strong. Right now, just around.
Okay, so now we're going to do the certificates for the oldest, youngest, most children, and who traveled the farthest. I need a new producer. Okay, so
Oh, the oldest was first.
whoever won the oldest certificate, would they stand up so we can acknowledge him?
That's Uncle Cecil.
Uncle Cecil.
I don't think they're still here, but Jamal Hardwick was the youngest. The youngest person was Jamal Harge Redmond.
I would have to get his
6
certificate
months.
because that's
We
my
gave it
great
to them
grandmother.
yesterday at the picnic,
Oh, okay.
and we gave them their prizes. We just wanted everybody to know who won in case someone wasn't here yesterday at the picnic. And then Irma Emery won for the person with the most children. She has 8 children. So. And Lexi and Kevin Simpson won for Travel the Farthest. But there was some questions about who lived who, where. There's 20 miles difference, so. But they got the gift certificate, well, they got the prize for that, so. And that's it. Give everybody a great hand.
I won a certificate for being the biggest, baddest brother in the room. Except for that dude over there with the black Kingo. Him. Oh yeah, well, the second biggest, baddest brother in the room. I'm sorry, I'm the third biggest, baddest brother in the room. I'm the fifth biggest, baddest brother in the room. I'm the fifth. All right, this time are we going to greet the family?
Let me see. Next one, we're going to do. Oh, the storyteller session. Okay. I'm going to make Cousin Ted come up.
So if we could have Uncle Nate and Cousin Ted come up.
We're going to do a storyteller session. Okay, Uncle Cecil was, we were talking a week ago, and we wanted to make sure we preserve the education about how the family reunion originally got started. So I'm going to have Uncle Nate and Cousin Ted here give a little background on, where it started, how it got started, and what inspired them to put this together when they did.
Ted Burton, Theodore Burton. See, Theodore Burton. It's great to be here again, and I hope you have enjoyed your stay. This is a wonderful thing, really, for families to get together, and for the younger ones that they learn that there's more people in the, in the family than they ever think of. Now, how I got started involved in this, I went to a family reunion in 1975, and we would send, family reunion with cousins and that, and we didn't know how we were related. And so that started me and Sharon Jean, we started putting names together. And I was in the military at the time, and so in my travels, when I got a chance to talk to people, I took names down. And I came up with a handwritten list. But since then, we end up with really a good list, you know. And then you get, Nate did a lot of work, and the Ancestry website and in Utah and Salt Lake City, getting names and things together, and so this came about. So this is good, and we're still building on it. And so if you look through the ones and there's some people that are missing, let us know, and we can see if we can get them added. Philip is the one that you can talk to add them on. Thank you, and I'll let Nate have his word.
Thank you. I do want to say that it is a real pleasure for me to come here today as this family is here today. You know, when I was very, very young, I always wondered who my relatives were. And I said to myself, now when I grow up, I'm going to start doing some research work to find out who they were. And I think perhaps back in the mid-70s, I ran into Ted back in the Washington, D.C. area. And I don't think we talked that much about doing research, but when I retired, I made a commitment to do it. And I've been to several family reunions, and I really didn't know how I was related to a lot of the people that were there. So that really inspired me to really get out and do it. So I think at the family reunion in 1995, I had this list printed up, and Ted's brother, who lives in Phoenix, printed the copies. Tucson printed the copies, and we had a copy at the family reunion. That gave each person there an opportunity to find out who they were related to and how. You know, and I think that's great because many times we go through life and really not know who our family members are. And there's a real reason for us getting to know each other, how we're linked. Primarily for an educational one, and another one is for medical reasons. If you needed for example, a bone marrow transplant, who are my families? Where can I find a match for that? So that's another real reason why we need to get together at family reunions and get to know how we're related. But you know, it's really fun, real fun, getting to meet and know your families, who your descendants are. I recall when I first got started, and I used to wonder, why do I have certain traits? Yes, and during family research, you find those things that why you may have got this from this person or that person. And in other words, sometimes we have family traditions that have been passed down from one generation to another. I recall talking to a lady who was also doing family research, and I said, what have you discovered about one of your family traditions that you often wondered about but never got an answer for? And she said to her, my great-grandmother, when she wanted to bake a ham, she always cut off the end. And she said, I often wondered why. And she said, finally I did some research, and what the answer was, that the pan that she wanted to cook the ham in wasn't large enough. So down through the years, they would cut off the end of the ham, not knowing why they didn't have to do it. So sometimes we have those kind of family traditions. We often wonder, why am I doing this? That's what happens when you do the family research. I consider myself addicted to doing family research. No matter where I am and where I go, in the back of my mind, I'm always wondering where I can go to find a record, where I can find this lost long relative. And each family reunion I go to, I always meet somebody that I didn't know before. And sometimes there's another good reason you need to know, because as we grow older and the offspring grows larger and larger, we can end up marrying a cousin. And of course, maybe there's not that much wrong with that.
Hey, that's a good job. Wonderful speech there. Just love the guy. I mean, you got another guy. Okay, time's up, buddy. No more cousin talk, though.
Are we cousins?
No.
But anyway, if you find that your name or someone that you know in the family is not on that list, will you please get that to Philip, who can make sure that it's on that list? Philip is the person who I have designated to take over after me. Let some of the younger ones do it. And I think you need to encourage your children to get involved one way or another. But I thank you for all coming, and it's really been a real blessing and a pleasure to me. Thank you.
Something I think of interest, I had the opportunity Tuesday I had, coming from Reno to spend a night in Utah. And I got a chance to go through the Family History Museum. And so while there, I looked up, since I was coming to family reunions, I looked up a few names. And some things you'll be surprised that you find. Now, Claude and George married sisters. Callie Pope and Myrtle Pope were sisters. And I didn't realize that, And the other thing I found that Carrie, my grandmother, who I never met, she died in the year that I was born, I was able to trace her family back. And her father was a slave. And I looked up the slave owner, and it gave the name of the slave owner. The slave owner's name was Pump Favors. I looked up Pump Favors and found out Pump Favors was a black man. So strange things that you can find looking through the census and through the ancestry. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, everything. Yeah, so the first reunion is, what, 1975, is that right? 1975, that was the first reunion?
I don't think so. I think they would start before that. But that's the first one I went to.
First one you didn't see. Was the real first one? Yeah, 1987 they had a reunion in Colorado Springs. 87. 1987. What's that? Where did they have one in 75? Los Angeles.
I want to think it was in Denison, Dallas?
In Dallas?
Because my father was born in Denison, and while there, we drove from Denison and so on, so it was in Dallas.
Okay. So we have 75, 87, Colorado Springs, In 1995, there was one in Oklahoma City, and that was the last reunion until 2010. So there was no official reunion for about 15 years. So we kind of reconstituted back in 2010, and I think last time we had over 200 people come to that one. Was that right, Uncle Cecil? Over 200 people came in. So now we've committed to doing this once every other year now. So next time we'll do this in 2014. We'll decide where a little bit later, but yeah. So, yeah, Uncle Cecil.
You might mention the fact that we have a website.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that we have a website, and we want you to maybe what you've done with that, that you went each week or so that Phil had a phone tree. You put it about excellent. The prayer was on that phone tree to pray for anyone who wanted prayer, what have you. We put out all of the excellent condition, excellent situation. And of course, we have the website that had, at one time, we had all of the family reunions also on the website.
Yeah. Yeah, the website is www.emcee.org, and that's our official family website. I haven't updated it in a while because our web design is a little slow, but we had the family tree on there. We had some pictures and a newsletter that was updated. It used to be updated regularly. But you know, with Facebook, you know, we have a family group on Facebook, and that kind of, you know, substituted for that for a while because I post most of the stuff we're doing and pictures and updates on that group. So it kind of serves the same purpose a little bit faster. And see, how many of you are my friends on Facebook? Like, raise your hand. And how many of you are on the family group? Everybody? Oh, see, there you go. Does everybody read the emails and the posts? No. See, that's the problem. You got to read them. Because everything about the reunion was I posted on the Facebook group. Everything. So nobody should not have known what it was. And everything. So yeah, that's about it for me.
All right, so a few things before we get out of here. You know, if you need an organ, or need a donor, there are certain things that you can call me for. There's other things that you won't be able to get, you know. I just want to say that, but it's nice to know that we might be a potential match. But there's certain things I'm just not going to get, you know. I would just like to task you, if you're going to do some research, can you find out who got some money? Find a relative or so that can put these things on for us. But seriously, I want to thank my mom because, you know, they said, as I said, I stood up and said Denver, but she did do all the work, and it was a well put, well thought out, and well planned family reunion. So I just want to give my accolades to her as well. And now's the time if anybody else has to say anything. We're going to play Family Feud now?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to lose. What was that? Okay, so we're going to play Family Feud now. It does feel like the air is on, so we can stick around and have some fun. Comments?
Questions, concerns?
Questions, concerns?
I'd just like to say that for Phil here, I would just
Can you stand? We can't hear you.
It's going to be quick. No, I just want to say that last year, some of you know because you read Facebook and emails, but like I told him last year that up until I met him on the phone last year, the only family members I had was my siblings and a couple first cousins. So, and the job that he's done, it's unbelievable for somebody his age, somebody in the early 20s to do what he's done. Not that he's better than anybody, but you just don't see young people doing what he did. You see the older people doing it, but I just think he deserves a big round of applause.
Yeah.
One more thing, you know, know, they gave her her accolades, but you can't put a price on what she, Joyce put in there, so.
Yeah.